someone freaking cheated. Hello and welcome back to the Unknown Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Atkinson-Smith, and this is episode 25. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's start with the fact that I got a new mic. Yeah, and it's amazing. I hope it doesn't echo as much as it used to, because I know that I'm in a very empty room. So that used to be like a very big issue that I tried to, resolve in the editing process, but it was still very prevalent, and I'm very aware of that. I'm sorry, but this is actually a really nice mic, and this is like the first time I'm testing it out. So I hope it's nice. Hope it's better. So as per usual, let's start with a little fact to get the episode started. Now, the first oranges weren't actually orange. And I know what you're thinking, that's nuts, but the original oranges from Southeast Asia were a tangerine pomelo hybrid, and they were actually green. In fact, oranges in warmer regions like Vietnam and Thailand still stay green through maturity. So there's a little fact of the episode, a little thing to get the day started, little knowledge tip to get the day started. Now, on to more personal things that are going on in my life. So I just finished with exams, and this is the first time it's ever actually happened where I was a witness in it, but someone freaking cheated. And in university, that's super serious. You can get kicked out of university, kicked out of school for that kind of stuff. I mean, in high school, it's just you fail the test or whatever, but here it's really, really serious. It's almost as it's the up there is with the things that you can do in university that will get you in deep shit are plagiarizing. That'll get you in some real big trouble with the dean and stuff like that. You can get kicked out, and cheating on tests and stuff like that. So it's up there. And so this is what happened. I'm writing my exam, right? And the prof looks up at everyone, and I'm just thinking yeah, that's what happens. They walk around and everything. And this is a smaller exam, by the way. We're in our usual classroom. This is a film music course. So it's not a huge program. Film in general in my school is smaller. So it's not like the politics exams where you're in a huge room filled with people that's so stressed out, and people are sipping caffeine right before their exam. They have a proctor to tell you all the rules and stuff like that. It was more chill, I would say. And so the prof looks up and he says, for that one person that signed on to the school's program or whatever, I know that you're on. I'm tracking it right now. And I know who you are. And I was just oh shoot, someone actually had the balls to do that. Pretty much what they were doing is they were trying to check on the slides and stuff like that and get all the information from the lectures to cheat on the test. I mean, it wouldn't even be unless you knew which slides it was exactly, then it's not really gonna help you. So you must have studied the slides to know which one it was that pertains to the question. And if you study the slides, you should have studied enough to remember them. But you know what? Whatever. So he got busted. And this guy, he went up to talk to him for a little bit. And I wasn't paying much attention, but I was able to see who it was pretty much. That was the extent of what I knew. And then Marie, my girlfriend, was a little bit closer to the action, and she heard him say sorry to the prof. And she also heard the prof say, sorry doesn't cut it, which is a deep cut. That's something that you just can't recover from. What do you say to that? Oh my goodness. And on that front, I have seen some things while taking exams. There was one time where I witnessed someone having a seizure, and they had to be rushed out of the exam room. People actually me, I passed out in an exam. I was going on zero sleep. And I literally took a little nap, woke up, and realized I still had an exam to write, and then just wrote whatever I could to finish it off, So stuff happens, especially when you're writing a lot throughout your years. Something is bound to happen in the exam room. People get really stressed out. And yeah, that's kind of normal. But this guy got busted for cheating. That is nuts. Damn. I've only ever cheated on 2 tests, and those were in elementary school for French and high school for woodshop. And it was hard not to cheat there because everyone just passed around the answers. The teacher wasn't even there to figure out that we were cheating. And the funny thing is that teachers in high school, at least, gave me lots of opportunities to cheat. And I kind of feel they felt bad for me. This is me reflecting on it. I would see that it kind of seems like they felt bad for me because they knew I was working hard, and I wasn't kind of like slacking off and stuff like that, I just wasn't able to pick up the information that I was supposed to. And it was just really, really difficult for me to learn. So they would like leave me in the room and just be like, okay, like close the door when you're done, or turn off the lights, you know, like just close up when you leave. And I would be so nervous that they would come back that I wouldn't cheat, but they didn't, right? And this happened to me so many times where it's just like, okay, yeah, like you take longer and like I trust you, just turn off the lights, close the door when you leave. Like that's just like giving you an option. That's pretty much saying like, here, cheat, like just get the grade. You know what? You're a nice kid, get the grade and close up. You know, I don't care. I'm going off to get my lunch. Like they're just, you know, like they were giving me a little open hand, and I was just like, damn it, like I can't be doing that, can't be betraying their trust like that. But to my to my benefit here, like that could have happened. They could have walked back and then just never trusted me again, which, oh man, I felt bad, because one of my favorite teachers in high school was English, because I was taking a lot of English courses, and she found out that I plagiarized. And the story behind this is my uncle wrote a poem, or a few actually, and posted them online. And I didn't know that he posted them online. And then so I needed a poem that was longer, and I could not figure out what to write, how to write it. Like I was just having the toughest time ever. And he saw me struggling and was like, oh, like I wrote a poem if you just want to change some things in it. I was like, okay. And so we passed it through, and I thought that it would do fine through the program, because I didn't know that it was actually online. But what the program does is it looks for any plagiarism, anything that has like similar wording and stuff like that. And so it came back, and then she confronted me about it, and she was like, oh, like it had like a 97% similarity to another paper online. And I was like, no, that can't be possible. That can't be possible. She's like, well, like it did. And I was like, no, like that can't be, no, like I refuse to acknowledge that. Cause I was like, oh, like my uncle wrote it, like just came up with it and just gave it to me. So like, that's like, it's never been out there other than like on his computer. And then afterwards I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, how did I not ask about that if it was ever posted online and stuff like that? And I felt so bad. And especially because she was telling me the truth. She was coming to me and being like, yeah, like you plagiarized and I know. And I was just saying like, no. Like pretty much like just kind of like betraying her trust even more by saying like, no, like I know that I did this. And even though I changed it a bit, like it's just not enough, honestly. And yep, so I learned my lesson. I had to write like 2 poems to make up for the one that I plagiarized on, and I felt really, really bad. And, you know, after betraying her trust, I was really lucky that she didn't fail me on it and she gave me another chance. But you know what? I did learn from it actually, and I will not be doing that again, you know? So like, I may have not taken advantage of all those times that I could have cheated, but the time that I did cheat, I got busted. So, I mean, who's to say what could have happened? Continuing on from that and all of that stuff, I got really into this game called Rocket League, and it's like a soccer game, but you can play it with cars, and you do little flips and spins and stuff like that. And I was playing with my friends. This was like right after exams, and we were all kind of like done with being stressed out and writing papers and all that stuff for like take homes and everything. And I was so sleepy that after playing this game for like an entire day, I was in traffic. I think I was going to campus to hand in like my last take-home exam, because I just finished like my written exam, and I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm all done after this. Like I'm completely done until the summer is over, and then I come back to school. Well, I mean, like I'm taking summer courses, but oh my goodness, stress. I just remembered that. But anyways, so it was kind of just like a little chill time in between when I was handing in my exam, and I was on my way to hand in the exam. A little bit of traffic came my way because it was early in the morning, and I'm like, you know what? At this point, like, why can't they just jump and flip over them like in Dune Buggy, like, or what is it? In Rocket League, because at that point, like the mechanics and everything are just in your brain, and when you're tired, like you just have no idea what's going on. Oh my goodness. Like, why can't I just flip and boost over everyone in traffic? Like, that just seems normal. That's what I've been doing all day, you know? Where's the soccer ball, for heck's sake, you know? Oh, another thing I wanted to get into is tucked versus untucked, okay? And I just gotta say one thing. For those of you who use top sheets, like I understand bottom sheets to cover like the mattress and stuff like that and stay clean that way. But top sheets, they're not necessary. Why do you use them? I don't get it. Like if you want to respond to me, respond to me. I could be ignorant to the fact, but I've never really used top sheets. Like you have a blanket. I just don't see the necessity in it. It seems so redundant, you know. You already have something to put over top of yourself to keep you warm. You've already got something to keep you clean underneath, so why do you need a top sheet? It's like a thin layer of sheet that doesn't do anything except hold you tight. And the thing is, it's so restricting. Like people who tuck it underneath the mattress so it's like tucked in and your feet can't breathe, they can't get out, and they're stuck underneath the sheets. Why do you what? Like it's so restricting. I don't know how you do that. I couldn't do that at least. And I've tried sleeping with it tucked in. I can't. I'm an untucker, you know? I can't live the tucked life. I don't know how people do it. You know, you gotta have your feet breathing. It gets too like hot down there when they're tucked in and restrained and constricted. Can't have that. Plus, it's just an extra thing to wash. You know, you ever think about that? You're like, damn, making the bed takes longer, it's harder, and I have more to wash. What's the purpose in having a top sheet if it just adds strain, restriction, and more stress? What? Like, why? Am I not speaking logic here? Like, that's just the way I see it. But like, still, come on now. Like, what's the benefit? What's the benefit? It hugs you closer to your bed. If you want that, get like a weighted blanket, which is those heavier blankets that it's harder to rustle around. It's for people who are very restless at night, and it also helps people with anxiety and everything to get to sleep. So like, try that. Don't rely on these other sheets. You know, you got a blanket, you got an undersheet, you're good. You're good. You know. Ooh. All right, so on top of this episode, I thought that we could do a little, you know, would you rather, a little bit of a longer episode, seeing as we got a new mic and we got that sound quality, you know? So let's get started in that would you rather. Dun, 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 if I could find it. Okay. Would you rather be the first person to walk on Mars via a one-way trip or never travel to space? Easy. I would never travel to space. Like, why would you want to be the first one to travel on a planet if you're stuck on that planet? I would like to have all the stuff that I have on Earth. I don't need, you know, I don't want to live off of freaking space food. Have you seen astronaut food? Like, it's all like dried up and stuff like that. And the water, the way they in space is really weird. The way that they shower and everything. And when they cry, like it stings in their eyes because it stays there. That kind of sounds a little poopy, you know? And then, you know, you got to worry about like running out of food and stuff like that. Like, I seen Martian where Matt Damon gets stuck on Mars, you know? I know the struggle. This man had to find his way into making a farm, and he was struggling, and I ain't trying to be that person, you know? Just not, that ain't me. I'd never traveled to space. 59%. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Right choice. Would you rather sleep on soft ground with a hard pillow or sleep on hard ground with a soft pillow? See, I can use my arm as a pillow. I mean, I always put my arm like underneath the pillow to prop it up a little bit. So I'm gonna have to say that I would sleep on a soft ground with a hard pillow because I don't really need the pillow. I mean, like, I can just ignore the pillow and just sleep on my arm, and then, you know, I have something supporting my back. Meanwhile, if you're on like freaking concrete and you have a soft pillow, like, your head's gonna be supported, but everything else, you just ain't sleeping, you know? It might be bad for your back too. I mean, I don't know. But I would go with the hard ground. No, I would go with, the soft ground and hard pillow. And yeah, 51%. Would you rather show your friends and family your entire internet history or live near an active volcano? Okay, so one of them you die, and the other one, your parents know the stuff you've been up to, and that brings shame. But the thing is, incognito, ladies and gentlemen, it's your friend. You know, you never have an internet history if you use incognito. So there you go. I would show my friends and family my entire internet search history. Unless, like, I actually had all of that documented. In that case, like, definitely live near an active volcano. Are you kidding? I'm not showing my family and friends all the stupid things I look up all day. Would you rather all chickens become extinct or all cows become extinct? Now, see, like, cows are freaking cuties. They're adorable. But chickens, you know, oh man, like chickens, they taste good. Sorry for all you vegetarians and vegans out there, but like, burgers, nah. All right, you know what? I'd rather all chickens become extinct. I gotta be honest in that one. I'm not alone either. Okay, so that about does it for episode 25. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode.